guys, it's Maya. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on our video today. As you can see by the title, this reading is all about what abundance is coming your way. So I do want to mention that abundance can really be anything. I don't have anything specific when I'm going into this. I'm not specifically talking about physical abundance or career or one thing or the other. I'm really leaving it open to spirit to kind of just talk to each group about whatever they need to know, so abundance could be physical or financial. Like I just said, abundance could be mental, it could be emotional abundance, it could be spiritual abundance. So it really is totally up to spirit for each group. There is nothing specific that I am going to ask about. We're just going to see what is your current energy and what abundance is coming into your life. So with that being said, feel free to interpret the reading however you would like, because since this is a general reading, I feel like everyone is kind of in different spots with different experiences and different situations going on. So feel free to interpret the cards or the messages however it makes sense to you. And also, because this is kind of like a broad topic about just abundance in general, there could be multiple readings for you. So feel free to watch as many as you would like, because there could be messages or confirmations or anything for you in multiple groups. So with that being said, let me go ahead and show you your options. You guys have 4 groups to choose from. Each group has a different tarot deck, has a different crystal, and has a different card that came out as I was shuffling. So you could be drawn to the back artwork, to the front artwork. You could be drawn to the card itself, or you could be drawn to the crystal. But yeah, let me go ahead and show you your options. Group 1, this is the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this green obsidian. And your card is the 3 of Wands. Group 2, this is the Tarot of the Divine. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this white stone that I don't remember the name of. And your card is the Knight of Cups. Group 3, this is the Anime Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is the Zebra Jasper. And your card is the Moon. Group 4, this is a pink traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this rose quartz. And your random card is the World, with the keywords completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, and arriving. Okay, you guys, here are all of your options laid out for you side by side. Like I mentioned, in a reading like this, you can watch as many as you would like because there could be messages for you in multiple groups. Take all the time you need to pick a group. I'm going to get started with group number 1. Hey guys, if you chose this 3 of Wands with the Tarot of the Witch's Garden in this green obsidian, this is your group. Hello, group number 1. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to set your crystal right there. Thank you guys for all of your support here on my channel. It really means the world to me. As I mentioned in the intro, this reading is all about what abundance is coming your way. So like I mentioned, this could be any type of abundance. It could be material, it could be financial, physical, but it could also be emotional and spiritual abundance as well. So we're really leaving it open for spirit to really come in and just, tell you whatever is going on or whatever is shifting, and we're going to see what blessings they are bringing into your life. So that is what we're talking about. We're leaving it open-minded. We'll see what they want to say to you. Please use your own interpretations and your own intuition to kind of, guide the messages if you need to, because since this is a general reading, I feel like maybe people are going to resonate with different things, and also, maybe you're going to interpret something a little bit different. So that is totally okay. I want you to be able to interpret this really however you want to and whatever makes sense to you as well. But with that being said, obviously don't force a reading to fit, because if it really does not sound like you and it's so far-fetched from you, your life, and your current energy, then definitely check out a different group. So let's get into it. With this 3 of Wands, I do want to say that maybe you've been working really hard on something, Because the Three of Wands, it does talk about a new milestone, like something is shifting, and we worked hard to get to this milestone. So it really does feel like something in your life could have shifted recently or is shifting. And hey, I actually never realized there's a willow tree in the back of this card. And I named my cat Willow after the willow tree. So that's interesting, that I've never noticed that before. But yeah, it feels like you worked very hard for something and something is shifting because of your hard work. So again, like it could be a new milestone. It's like you're finally getting returns on something that you have been working really hard for. So that's kind of what I'm sensing with that. That does not really have to resonate with everyone, but usually, you know, if I have an intro message, I like to say it for somebody out there. So this is our current energy for group 1. This is what we're going to start off with. And again, if the current energy doesn't really sound like you, you know, definitely check out a different group. But after the current energy, we'll go in and see how is your energy shifting and what is the abundance that is coming in for you. So for group 1's energy, we have memory with Rosemary and the number 16. I immediately thought of February 16th. I don't know why. So that could be somebody's birthday, or your birthday could be on the 16th of a month. But for some reason, I thought about February. So like early, like the first quarter of the year could be significant. There's also Leo right here. Okay. 7 of Wands. This is also Leo. So we got Leo out here twice. Oh, we have the beaver and birch with home and the number 30. Okay. Some of you could be hitting a milestone in your age. And I'm not saying 30 is old, but you could be reaching like a new era. And it's like you know, or a new, you're like reaching a certain milestone with your age for some of you. And then we have the lovers with the number 6 with relationships, emotions, and choices. Okay, there's a very specific energy coming through for group 1. I want to start off with this because I feel like this goes really well together. This home card makes me think of the 4 of Wands, which talks about your home, and it talks about a happy home life. And in this sense, I feel like you've worked very hard, group 1, even to the point of maybe even struggling. Like maybe life has been tough and you've worked and struggled and you've put so much time and effort into your stability and your foundation. Like that's coming through very strongly because the 7 of Wands can talk about, you know, challenges. It can talk about restrictions. You know, things were just not easy. Things didn't just fall into your life. I think life could have been very tough for you and you had to struggle for a lot of the things that you have, or you had to work very hard to get to where you are today. It definitely feels like for this group, it's like life was just like, was not handed to you on a silver platter. Like you had to use what you had and you had to build something on top of that. And I think that could have been tough. It could have taken you a very long time. And with this, I feel like you always had a vision, no matter how hard life got, or maybe even when you were younger. It's like you always had a vision of a life that you want to live, or a lifestyle, or a home, or a family, like, or even a career. Maybe you've always had a vision of what you want. And I feel like in your current energy, you're still working very hard for that vision or for that stability. Especially with this home card, it's making me feel like you're working like every day. You're working day in and day out to provide for yourself, maybe to even provide for your family. But I do feel like there's something about like your life, like sustaining your life, or even this day-to-day process that I'm feeling, it's tough. Like something, you haven't got that break yet, or it just hasn't been easy. And I think you're like waiting for that shift. You're waiting for the peace of mind. You're waiting for things to calm down a little bit. But it does feel like more of a hectic and a bit of a tough energy right now that you could be going through. Or maybe for some of you, you recently went through this. Like you kind of went through that struggle to get to a better place in life. I do think your independence and your stability is very important. Maybe that's something that you didn't have growing up, or something about like your home life, your foundation. Maybe it was never what you wanted it to be, and now that you're getting older, you're realizing that like it has to be you that does this. You know, you have to give this to yourself. I think you work so hard, group one. And I think you're waiting on, yeah, some of you are waiting on that break. Some of you are waiting on a vacation. Some of you are waiting to just to be able to catch up so you can kind of like breathe and pause. It does feel like a heavy energy on you for some of you. Okay, what's interesting is I just heard like, I don't believe in luck, or something like, I'm not waiting for luck because I have to make my own luck. I think maybe you could have been somebody who maybe you were waiting on luck. You were waiting on something else to come in and help you, some invisible force, some higher power. Like maybe during your life you waited for something to come and help you, but I think you ended up in a position where you kind of had to do things yourself. So now I feel like, I wouldn't say you're cynical about it, but I think you're more so like, well, I have to do it myself. Like, I think you've become a little cold, like cold in the sense of like, I just don't believe that luck exists, or like, I just don't believe that I'm gonna get lucky. I think you have to make your own luck. I think that's your attitude in a way, but I feel like that's working and it's totally fine, because I think that like persistence, and it's almost like that drive and that hunger to like better your life and to get yourself to a different position and just to better yourself, I think that is really what's kept you going. Now, for some of you, you could already be in a good energy, because, you know, we kind of have to, it feels like for group one, you kind of had to go through some level of a struggle in order to get to that happy home, or to finally to get to the place in life that you want to be in. So for some of you, you could be in this Four of Wands energy here, where things are a lot better than what you came out of. But with this memory here, it's interesting because I think that maybe you're still healing from your past, healing from things you had to do, things you had to, you know, things you've experienced and all of that. And I think Spirit is saying, if you are truly seeking peace, you have to truly heal from something. I think there's something that still, I don't like to use the word haunt. I think that's a really like eerie word. I don't like to use it in my line of work, but it does feel that way. It feels like something just keeps coming at you energetically. Like something is almost like, you know, like it keeps creeping up at you. It keeps creeping up in your thoughts. And I feel like Spirit is saying that there is something about that really needs to be like healed completely so it can go away. Because I do think even if you are in a better place, something is nagging at you energetically, or it's like a memory, or it's something mental that just keeps coming in from time to time and kind of nags at you a little bit. You could also be in a point in your life where you have very fond memories of certain people. I specifically thought about like mom or a grandma, and you're like looking back at their recipes, because we have rosemary here and we have this book, so it made me think of like a recipe book. Or you're going back and like with fond memories, you know, going back to certain people in the past, and maybe these people are not around, maybe they are, but maybe the energy is not the same anymore. But for some of you, there's something about like a feminine energy here. I don't know who that feminine energy is, but it's like you have very fond memories with a feminine energy. I think for group one, I think there's a lot of questioning. Like you're really questioning the universe on like, what is my life? Or like, why is it a certain way? Why did certain things happen to me? Why was it more difficult for me versus other people? Like, why did other people have their luck? Or why did other people get lucky? Why was it easier for other people? I think there's a lot of questioning the divine. There's a lot of questioning higher power, God, whatever it is you might think of when you think of some kind of an energy force. I think you do question it, because you wonder like, why did it have to happen this way to me? Whether it was like many things in your life, whether it was one pretty huge thing that happened to you that you had to overcome, I think you really question it. And I really feel like you don't have a lot of faith in the universe right now. And that's okay. I mean, that is so normal and that's so human. And I think Spirit is totally encouraging you to like figure things out for yourself. You know, like it's okay. You know, you don't have to get caught up in societal norms, societal pressure, societal um, expectations. Like it almost feels like throughout your life, maybe you forced yourself to kind of believe in something or forced a certain path for yourself, especially like spiritually, because you felt like that was expected of you. That is what everyone does. Maybe that's what your family did. Maybe that's just what people do. And because it's true, people do, especially with like these major religions, they really force these things onto people. And it almost feels like you were almost like growing up, you were kind of like forced to do certain things when it comes to your belief system or religion or whatever. And I think that like it was never really you, because I think deep down you've always questioned certain things, and spirit is saying that's okay. Like you can just exist here on earth and not have to conform to a certain religion or to a spiritual path or to anything like that. They're saying like it's open to you if you want to, if you would want to like discover things and learn about things and like find your own way. That's totally up to you, but there's no pressure. And so I don't know if this feels like a very specific energy. I feel like I'm literally talking to like just maybe a handful of people. I feel like if you're not in this energy, then I just don't know if this would be your group, because I am sensing that like I'm questioning life, questioning the universe. I've had to struggle to get here. You could have recently walked away from a relationship, or you've healed from like a very huge relationship that could have been in your life at some point in time. Also, I just realized we have 6 and 6 out here. Now, for some of you, this could all be in the past, because with the 30, we were just saying like there could have been a major milestone that you've hit in age. For some of you, maybe you're like entering a new era into your life where you're actually not in this energy anymore. Like you're not in this troublesome, chaotic energy, but now you're in a better place, and I think you can reflect back to what life was like and what you have learned and how you got here. Because I'm also viewing this lovers as like somebody who's stepping into a new era in their life, and now they know exactly what they want, they know exactly what they deserve, whether that's in life, whether that's in friendships, family, relationships. It feels like a new era for somebody, and especially relationships. If you kind of had to heal from something toxic in the past, I think you're in a better place, because now you know exactly what kind of a relationship you want moving forward. But I do feel like for some of you, this could be in the past. So like general readings, we're on a spectrum. So if this is like happily ever after, and then this is we're still working through things, right? It's like 0 to 100. So it's like for some people, maybe you're still back here and you're still kind of going through this energy where you're working really hard, questioning things, still trying to make sense of life and make sense of things. And then for others of you, you could actually be at very close to happily ever after, very close to a new era in your life where you're doing much better for yourself in a much better environment. You have that peace of mind, so we're on a spectrum. You could fall anywhere in between, but I think if like that energy kind of sounds like you, then I think this would be your group. And it's interesting that this beaver is looking away from the lovers. So that's why I was thinking that maybe you have ended a relationship, or you are single, or you have recently walked away from a relationship, or you did at some point in time. Because it feels like with the beaver having their back to the lovers, it just feels like you're not interested, or you are really healing through this, or it's like you have chosen to kind of be on your own for a second. Or you've realized like what it is you really deserve, and you're not really looking for it right now. And you're kind of just focused on your own home and your own happiness and your own stability. Yeah. And I feel like if you are in this happy, like a happier energy, and you are in a more evolved energy, I do think you have found peace. And I think that because of everything you've been through, nobody can really take this peace away from you. It feels like once you get to that peace of mind and that foundation that you were working towards, it's like nobody could take it away from you, because you did it yourself, and you are wise, and you have evolved as a human being to get here. And it just feels like for those of you who have already reached this 4 of Wands, then you're just in a much better energy. And for others of you, you're like on the journey to reach that 4 of Wands. Now, it's interesting, in the very beginning, I was saying like you could have been working really hard towards something and you're finally seeing the shift and you're finally seeing the returns on something. So that also makes a lot of sense on like if you have been working really hard, then it makes sense that like the abundance that is coming into your life is something that you were working towards and it's finally like happening. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of what I'm seeing for this, for the current energy. So, you know, definitely stick around if you do feel drawn to this group and if that does sound like you. But if that sounds really off, then definitely check out a different group, you know? So let's go ahead and see. For group number 1, let's see what abundance is coming in for group 1. Oh, I just realized you chose a green deck and the crystal is green because I'm always color coordinating, but green is the heart chakra. And we were just saying some of you, like the evolution is that you would finally end up in a place where you're emotionally satisfied and you're at peace and you are healing your heart space. You know, because I feel like when we're in a sense of resentment or questioning or maybe even anger, maybe to a human being in our life, maybe to the spiritual world, when we're still in that energy, our heart space is not really healed, you know, and that's why Spirit is saying it's okay. Like there's no rush for you to have your questions answered. You know, there's no rush for that. But I do think like the ultimate evolution for group 1 is to really have your heart chakra healed. And when you're at that, that's when you find that peace, that inner peace, where you're not angry, you're not questioning things, you're not mad at the life that you've lived or the life that was given to you, you're not mad at this external being that could have controlled something or made something happen. You know, I think like evolution is when you get to that point in your life where, yeah, like you realize things were tough, but I worked hard and I got here and I have no anger, I have no resentment, I don't have any bitter energy to anybody. And I think a lot of that is tied back to your heart chakra healing. And I think because you were drawn to the green, it really feels like that is a shift that is coming into your life. And I just realized that this person is wearing green. This is green. This angel is wearing green. Like there's a lot of green going on. So let's go ahead and see what abundance is coming in for group number 1. Oh my gosh. Ah. Okay, that was fast. Yeah, 5 of Wands in the reverse. You know, that really feels like we're just not fighting anymore, you know? And I think, again, this is a spectrum, but I think when you're kind of shifting into that more peaceful energy, an abundance is mental peace. You know, you're kind of letting go of mental conflict. We're not fighting. Even in this, it's like these birds are fighting for the worms, you know, and it just feels like you can't be in that fight or flight forever. And I feel like when you kind of just like let go and you just kind of like let go of the resistance or let go of the fighting or the chaos, and you realize, you know what, like it is what it is. I can sit here and I can like brew and be angry and just like hate the situation. But at the end of the day, I think you're realizing, group 1, that it's like the situation is what it is, or it was what it was. You know what I mean? Like, but you can change today and you can change your future from where you are today. You don't have to carry on the same story or the same energy into tomorrow. And I think for a lot of you, you're realizing that. And I think there's definitely some mental conflict that is going away for you with the 5 of Wands in the reverse. And I also think like physical conflicts or physically fighting for something is going to go away for you, which is very nice. Oh, and with the Chariot. I also think, first we saw the Chariot in the reverse, right? So I do think an abundance that's coming into your life is things are slowing down, which actually sounds like amazing for this group, because we see that there was struggle, we see that there was hard work, especially if you're working like crazy hours a week and multiple jobs and all of that. It really feels like life is slowing down for you, like some conflict or fighting, like that need to like fight or flight, like every day I have to get up and I have to survive, like I have to fight to survive, like that energy is going away and things are slowing down for you. That's when you kind of get into this more peaceful energy. So that's really nice. Okay, let me keep going though. What abundance is coming in for group 1? abundance is coming in for group 1? Oh, we have strength. Oh, this is so cute. Look at the little bears. And it's so interesting because we see this energy of like the birds, they're all fighting over these worms, fighting to survive, fighting for food, you know, fighting for literally their survival. And then we see this energy of this woman nurturing these bears, and the bears are so loving and it's so peaceful. They're in the peaceful like garden or the woods, and like the babies are happy and the mom's happy, and it's like everyone is so at peace, and there's such a harmonious energy. And I feel like that's what your energy is shifting into. You know, we're slowing down. I think that is something that is coming in as an abundance for group 1, is your life is just slowing down and you're finding peace after a long time of turmoil and a long time of this chaos, whatever you had been dealing with. You know, we'll see what is causing the peace, but it does feel like things are finally slowing down and you're finally able to like breathe. With strength here, I do feel like you could find somebody that you can really talk to. So maybe this is like a counselor, maybe this is a friend, maybe this is family, but it feels like you might find somebody that you can kind of like unload all your things on. Like you just kind of like just, you know what I mean? Like when we find people that we can really spill everything to, like it's such a nice feeling to get that weight off of our shoulders. And I do feel like you might be finding somebody like that. Or if you already have people in your life that are like wanting to help you, especially like emotionally and mentally, I think Spirit is saying you should allow them, because you don't have to do this alone. You know what I mean? And I think maybe for like your whole life or for a very long time, you've done things by yourself. You had to be there by yourself. You had to fight by yourself. You had to take care of yourself. Like, you know what I mean? And I think when we are like that, it just becomes second nature that we don't want to depend on anybody. We don't want to ask for help, because just like that, oh, I'm not lucky, so I'm going to make my own luck. It's kind of like that same mindset of like, oh, well, no one's ever helped me anyway, so I'm just not even going to ask for help. I'm just going to help myself, you know? And that is so real, because I'm like that. And because I've always been very independent growing up, and I, you know, like a little bit about me, but like I was raised by a single mom, and I pretty much had to kind of raise myself at the end of the day. So that is so true. Like that is so real for that energy when you're just like, you know what, like I've done everything by myself up until now. Like I don't really need anybody else moving forward. So I get it. And I think that Spirit is saying, in order to really heal that heart space of yours, and to kind of like let go of some burdens and kind of slow things down in your mind, but also in your energy, I think it would be very nice for you to talk to somebody, group 1, and to just kind of like let somebody in and just remind yourself that you don't have to do it alone. You having to do something alone, that is a defense mechanism. You know, that is what we, you know, I say we because that is something I'm healing from too, you know, and I used to do the same thing. And I realized as I was healing, I was like, that is my defense mechanism where, you know, even if I need help, I'm shutting it down because I'm like, I can do it myself. I don't need help. And that's not healthy. You know, like we have people in our lives to be there for us and to help us. And like, for me, it's been tough because, you know, I don't want to ask for help. I don't really want to rely on somebody. But when I do, it's tough, but it does make things easier. So I do feel like that is something that could be worked on. And I think that would really help you a lot. But I love strength because overall strength is really showing that you are healing from something, you know. So we see that there is an abundance of slowing down that's coming into your life. There is an abundance of healing that is coming into your life. And maybe instead of fighting or having conflict with people or energies around you, it's like this much more peaceful energy because of it. I also see the 5 of Wands sometimes as like our own thoughts going back and forth in our own head. And that could also be something that is slowing down. Let's see, what abundance is coming in? Abundance is coming in. 9 of Swords in the reverse. Group 1, I really think a lot of the shifts and like the abundance that's coming into your life is peace of mind. I mean, even this, we're seeing Nine of Swords in the reverse, and the Nine of Swords is all about mental conflict, anxiety, overthinking, unable to sleep at night, bad dreams, just like we're just, again, that fight or flight energy. And it feels like with this in the reverse, again, you're finding a lot of mental clarity and mental peace, especially if there was things that you were like holding on to, or like that resentment was building for a very long time. That is shifting. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know how it's happening, but you're really finding peace. Let's clarify the Nine of Swords in the reverse. Oh my God, look at that. I actually thought this was a star at first when I first saw it, but it's the Page of Wands. Yeah, there's like a whole like 360 shift coming into your life, because when you're finding mental clarity and then you're finding peace, then you're able to see everything clearly around you. So then once you're starting like that internal transformation, then your external transformation is also happening. And I think it puts you in this energy of like, instead of feeling dreadful and instead of like that resentment and like that anger or that bitterness that you could have had towards yourself, towards life, towards the universe, you're coming through as what I thought was the star. It's like this hopefulness again. You're able to like, yeah, like have hope. You're able to realize like, wow, like I can live a different life. And I think you're realizing that like it's all in your hands now, and you can totally do something very different than what you have been doing. It's like you're hopeful again, you're having dreams again, like dreams for your life, you're having goals again. It just feels like when that internal transformation happens, everything about your external perspective also shifts. It's like you have that spark back. Oh my God, the Eight of Wands. This is one of my favorite cards ever, because it talks about forward movement. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Look at the empowerment in this person, the way they're holding that sword. I love it. I feel like there's a lot of forward movement that is coming into your life, and like fast-paced movement. And again, it's like that milestone we were talking about in the very beginning, or it's like once you're finally putting into yourself, maybe healing, then you're getting the returns that you want in your external reality. I think we can, that's an energy that can be like physical returns, but also like spiritual and emotional returns as well. But I love the Eight of Wands is here. It shows me that you're really evolving. But what happened is like you finally slowed down and you had that perspective shift. I really feel like it's that heart space that's healing, that's doing all of this for you, because you went from that anger, resentment, bitterness to appreciation, hopefulness, love, emotional fulfillment. And then it takes you from slowing down that mental conflict in your mind to a much more peaceful energy. And then now it's like you have all new dreams and hopes, and it's like you're showing up as a brand new version of yourself. And you never thought this was possible, because when you were in that resentment and bitterness or that conflict, it was just like pulling you deeper and deeper into that hole. But you realize, I got to go the other way to get out of this hole. I got to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that's exactly what's happening here. And I feel like you can kind of, it's like a full 360 that's happening. I was about to say you're going to live out your wildest dreams, because that's what I see with this guy here. But yeah. Now for some of you, you could already be here. And Spirit is saying, like, this is the confirmation that you needed to hear. This is the abundance that's coming in. And then I feel like once, your internal changes, then your external changes, then your material changes too. At the end of the day, then maybe you are stable enough to buy a home. Maybe you are stable enough for your material wealth to change. You know what I mean? So it kind of like everything has stages. We can't just jump from one thing to the end. We have to go through the whole process to get there. But I do feel like you will get there, Group 1. So I'm very excited for you. I have some advice now. Ooh, that was fast. Ooh, opening my mind. That's on point with what we're saying with the number 29. Hey, 29 and 30. Again, some of you could be hitting a birthday soon, or like a huge milestone with your age. Okay, I open my mind to the love, wisdom, and guidance of the universe. I will learn to trust again. Oh my God. Oh my God. It literally says, I will learn to trust again. I can't make that up. I literally cannot make that up. I said that. I was like, you don't trust anyone or anything, or maybe even just you don't trust the universe. And it's literally saying, I'm open. It says, I open my mind to the love, wisdom, and guidance of the universe. I will learn to trust again. That's what I just said. That's what you know what I mean? Whenever I do these readings and whenever like, especially, it's always these oracle cards, because for like tarot, like I can interpret, everyone interprets tarot differently, right? But then whenever I'm using oracle cards and then it's like, it says exactly what I was saying for the last 40 minutes, it just like blows my mind. Cause I'm just like, oh my God, like I was onto something. Like I'm not completely crazy over here. Anyway, my excitement aside, let's see what else is coming through. We have 24 with my thoughts are powerful. As I am aware of the power of my thoughts, I'm able to create my dream life. I just said you're going to be living your wildest dreams, living out your wildest dreams. And like, bro, that's crazy. I love it. Number 18 with energy protection. I have the power to protect my energy and maintain a positive attitude. No one can destroy my inner peace. I said that earlier too, like there's so much inner peace and you brought yourself there that no one can take it away from you. I literally said that. Okay, anyway. I'll stop being annoying. I'm just excited. I love my own little reassurances. Change is good with a number 3. I'm strong enough to give up bad habits. Change is for good, and I have this. Okay. Ooh, this one says softening my heart with a number 22. I'm no longer willing to let bad experiences take over my heart. It's time to let go of negativity. That's what I was literally saying too. Is healing your heart space. Okay, let's get some more oracle cards here. Time to rekindle. Take the wheel in your hand. Gifts of life, and enjoy the scenery. Roads have turns. Oh, that's interesting. Roads have turns. I'll take this one that fell out. Release the creative genius. Unload the weight and fly to the sky. Okay. Okay, group number 1, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. I got very excited at the end because I feels like that was a good note to end this reading on. So thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. If you are interested in a private session, I am always available to have a private reading with you. So you can go ahead and email me. We can set something up. We can have a one-on-one reading where we are talking over Zoom, or we could have a pre-recorded reading where I like record it and then send it to you, kind of like what you're seeing here. But yeah, I mean, if you want to talk, if you want guidance, if you want anything, you know, go ahead and reach out. You can email me. It's in the description. And I do have a Patreon if you're interested in exclusive content, and the viewers on Patreon get to suggest the monthly readings. So if that's something you want to do, go ahead and check that out. It is also linked in the description below. But take good care of yourself, you guys. Have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. If you chose this Knight of Cups card with the Tarot of the Divine and this white crystal that I can't remember the name of, this is your group. Hello, group number 2. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for all of your support. So, like I mentioned in the intro, this is all about what abundance is coming your way, and I want you to be able to interpret this however you want to, so it could, since it's a general reading, I feel like the messages could resonate differently for different people. So, take it however you want to interpret this reading about whatever your abundance is. And, if the reading really doesn't resonate with you, then, don't force it. Just go ahead and choose another group. And also, if you are drawn to more than one group, that's okay, because there could be multiple messages for you in multiple groups. So, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for being here. Let's get into your reading today. So, you guys have this Knight of Cups. I don't really have much of an intro energy with the Knight of Cups, which is fine. So let's get right into your energy check. So this is group 2's current energy, and if you feel like this energy check doesn't sound like you, then definitely check out a different group. Group 2's current energy, we have grounding with potato and the number 5. We also have Virgo energy here. And with the sun, it is making me think of Leo. And then we also have the Sun Tarot card on there. So that's also making me think of Leo. Ooh, the Death card, number 13. The 5th through the 13th of a month could be significant. Maybe for some of you, a birthday falls into that time frame, or this could be like May 13th. There is no 13th month, but yeah, maybe May 13th. We have the antelope and wheat with nourishment. Whoa, this is the same card. Whoa, that's cool. That has not happened in a while where I got like an energy check card with the same card as the intro card. We have the Knight of Water with romantic, emotional, and dramatic. Dramatic is a funny way to describe the Knight of Cups, but that's interesting. For some of you, I could interpret this in 2 ways. For some of you, this Knight of Cups that is coming out here, twice, this could be the energy of somebody else in your life that has feelings for you, like romantic feelings for you. Or if this is not about somebody else, then it could be that you are in a place of offering love to somebody, or you are healing your emotional space and you feel like maybe you're ready to put yourself out there again. But that's interesting because this reading is all about the next abundance that's coming into your life, and we have the Knight of Cups twice. It's very possible for some of you there could be some kind of a relationship that is coming into your life, because whenever I see this Knight of Cups, which is not often, but whenever I see this guy like hiding in the bush here, it always feels like a secret admirer. And especially with even, they have like this flower covering their mouth. It feels like they're not speaking on how they feel. So this could be you are not telling somebody else how you feel about them, but you have love and romantic feelings for them. You have a crush on them. Or this could be somebody else to you. They are not saying to you how they feel and that they have a crush on you, and they're actually like a secret admirer of yours. Now, for others of you, you could know who this person is, because, that like secret energy doesn't have to be for everyone. You could know who this person is, and maybe you are growing into some kind of a romantic relationship with this person in your life, because we have the Knight of Cups out here twice. But it feels like, especially with the Death card here, and even grounding, even nourishment. But to start off with this, it feels like you could have had some kind of a major transformation in your life recently, because this is a death and a rebirth, and something is ending so something else can begin. It feels like you went through this like shedding of your old skin recently, and you are stepping into a new version of yourself. And when we shed our old selves and we step into this new self, a lot of things change with that, because we're not who we used to be anymore. So our mindset changes, our perspective changes, how we behave changes, how we love could even change. And it also feels like because you went through some kind of a death and rebirth, energetically, spiritually, emotionally, or mentally, it feels like you're in a better place to manifest love now in your life. And it feels like the previous version of yourself could not manifest the true type of love that you deserve, or like the true love that you want. They couldn't do that for some reason. And I think there was, like a lack of healing, or maybe unresolved trauma, or just things there that were just baggage for the old version of yourself. But it feels like because you've healed that and you have let go of that past version, and you have healed certain things about yourself, especially healing your heart chakra, it's like opening up this whole new world for you when it comes to love. And since I said whole new world, Aladdin comes to mind. That could be a sign or something significant for some of you. But yeah, it feels like in this new era of your life, in this new current energy of yours, you're in a much better place. You are more authentically aligned to your higher self. You're feeling better as a person. You're feeling better about your life. And it feels like you're in the right frequency to attract a soulmate into your life. And maybe for some of you, this person is already lurking somewhere. Like they already see you, they already notice you, but they're having a hard time coming forward and expressing this to you. Or maybe this person is staying patient with you, because another thing with the Knight of Cups, it's a slow energy. This is not somebody who is impulsive. They're going to take their time, they're going to assess the situation, and they're not going to just jump on immediate satisfactions, and they're not impulsive at all. So I feel like if this is somebody you know, then it's like they have been watching your transformation and they don't want to rush it. They don't want to rush you. They don't want to like scare you away. They want you to grow and heal as you should before they come forward and say anything to you. But I do feel like this person has, for some of you, this person's been around, or they've been around in your life, or they are currently in your life, even if you don't notice them. Because it is, with the secret admirer, it even feels like maybe you go to school with this person, maybe you work with them, maybe you're like acquaintances with them somehow. But for a lot of you, it feels like this person is already in your inner circle somehow. Maybe not inner circle, but they're in your circle, they're in your bubble somehow. And I think like it's not that you dismiss them, but it almost feels like you wouldn't think that they had feelings for you like this. Or it's like you wouldn't think that, like you wouldn't think that, I don't know how else to say it without repeating it, but when you're like friends with somebody for a long time, and then suddenly in like those rom-coms, they like wake up one day, they're like, wait a second, like we're actually so compatible, like are you my soulmate? It kind of feels like that. It feels like somebody's energy has been lingering around, whether you know them or you don't, and I feel like this person has genuine feelings for you, genuine love for you. They're patient with the situation, they're patient with you. They could honestly look like this for some of you, because this is a very like human image. They could have lighter or blonde hair, light or fair skin, very chiseled face. I mean, I know it's kind of generic, but maybe for some of you, somebody looks like that. Now, what's interesting with this antelope and nourishment is that half of its face is black, which makes me think like it was, I know this is such a graphic energy, not energy, like the image I got was so graphic because I'm a vegetarian and like I don't do no animal cruelty, nothing, right? So when I saw this, it just kind of looked like half of its face was like burnt off, which sounds very crazy for me to like think about a poor animal like that. But I think in this sense, it's almost like there was a darkness that it had experienced. And I feel like that's you. And I feel like that ties in with this death, because it's like half and half. And I feel like you are coming out of some kind of darkness. You've experienced it. You've been going through a transformation. You're going through a rebirth, and it's not easy. It's painful. It's overwhelming. Maybe it did make you feel like you were in the darkness, but it feels like you are coming out of it. But the specific message with half of its face being darker than this side is that this has left a mark on you. Whatever this healing or transformation was, whatever caused it, whatever you have gone through to get here, it has left a mark on you, and a permanent mark on you. And I think you will carry that mark with you for the rest of your life. But it's not a bad thing. It doesn't feel heavy. It almost feels like a battle wound. It's like, it's something that you're proud of, because it reminds you that you have grown, that you have healed, and that you were in the darkness at one point in time, but you have got yourself out of it. So it feels like a proud wound that you have, metaphorically, maybe even physically. For some of you, there could be some kind of a physical alteration or a physical wound or something, or a scar, something like that on your body that kind of reminds you of something that happened. But I think it just feels like whatever this transformation was, it was so deep and profound and intense, and it was so needed. And maybe for some of you, you're still going through this because this is your current energy. So it's like whatever this is, it has left a stain on you, like left a mark on you. But you are overcoming it, and you are moving through it with grace and dignity and with power, So it feels very nice. And even this nourishment, it feels like no matter how bad things got in your life, no matter what transformations you had gone through, what endings and what new beginnings, like no matter how tough it was, I think you were always there for yourself, and you took care of yourself, you nourished yourself, and it's like you brought yourself back to life. I don't know how else to describe it, but I feel like there's so much independence here because it feels like you did this yourself. I don't think people helped you. Maybe they did, but like little bit, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone really helped you with this transformation. It feels like you did it all by yourself. And that's why you can one day look back at this transformation and be like, I brought myself out of that. Like, I did that, and be very proud of yourself about that. Scorpio energy could be significant. I am recording this in Scorpio season, so Scorpios could be significant in some way. But yeah, like really taking care of yourself, nourishing yourself. But I also feel like this nourishing and self-care, it's also spiritual, it's mental, it's emotional, it's not just physical. It's not just like physical self-care, it's everything. And I feel like you have found a good balance in your life, especially with the way the wheat is making a circle here. It's making me think of the world card being a completion and also like balance, so it feels like you are well balanced in your current energy right now. Now, if this doesn't fully sound like you yet, but you are going through this transformation, or you do feel this heavy transformation coming into your life, then, you could be stepping into this energy. And then for others of you, you could already be here. For others of you, you could be coming out of this. So it's a spectrum, because I say this for all my readings, a general reading, you can be anywhere on this timeline, but this would essentially be like your overall current energy. Yeah, and same thing with grounding. I feel like whatever happened here, it made you very grounded, very practical, very laid back, very realistic. And I say laid back and grounded because it's like maybe before this transformation, you were not laid back and you were not that grounded, and like it just feels like your energy changed drastically after this transformation. After you like woke up is how it's coming through. Like your energy center opened up, and it feels like you are a completely different person now when it comes to who you are. Yeah, but there could be a secret admirer. You could be admiring somebody else. Again, they could be in your bubble somehow, in your circles somehow. Or if this is not somebody you actively know right now, and this is not you, then Spirit is saying you are evolving into the right frequency to attract true love into your life. I really believe that with this card that I'm seeing here. I also think with you healing, you are now, you have like higher standards when it comes to love. You know what you want. I think at one point in time before you healed, before this transformation, you maybe would have dated anybody. You kind of felt like you had to have somebody to fill a void within yourself. And maybe because when we do that, we end up in crazy situations with crazy people that we don't deserve, situations we don't deserve. But it's like when we're seeking something externally instead of filling it in ourselves, we end up with some crazy situations, let me tell you. But it feels like now you have filled that void within yourself. So there's that clarity, because now you're not just chasing any relationship, you're not just chasing any person, you're not chasing anything or anyone. And I think because of that, your standards have gone up. Now you know what you deserve. And when I say you're energetically aligned to a true love coming into your life, it really feels like like all of the above, like somebody who is mentally on your wavelength, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, even for some of you. It's like this person is really on your wavelength, and it's because you have risen in your standards and now you know what you deserve, and you're not just going to settle for less than you deserve. Okay, that's kind of all I'm seeing for this current energy here. I will say for a lot of you, I think it's very possible this abundance, I'm going to pull cards, but one of the abundance, if not a main abundance theme for you that's coming into your life would definitely be romance. I know that that's not something I say lightly, and I don't say it all the time. Believe me, if you've stuck around and if you watched a lot of my videos up until now, I don't say that because as a reader, I have noticed that the one thing people get really intense about, or maybe even slightly delusional about, is love and is romance and partnerships and all of that, and that's why I don't ever say this lightly. Like, I almost never say, oh, I think a love, like literally a true love, is coming into your life. And I would never say that because I don't give false hope. But in this sense, one of my rare occasions, I'm actually am sensing that you are, after you come out of this transformation, you are energetically aligning to a very special love that is coming into your life. For some of you, maybe they're already there and, it's better this time around, or something like that. But yeah. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm sensing for this current energy. I'm sensing a very wise, mature, spiritual person here for group 2. As in your energy. That is what I'm sensing. So now with the deck, let's go ahead and see more specifically for group 2. What abundance is coming in for group 2? What abundance is coming in for group 2? I feel like if there is true love coming in, or like your next relationship, it wouldn't be during the transformation. It would be after. It would be like after you've ended that cycle and you're in this new phase in life and in a new chapter. I think that's when you would slowly attract this person in. It wouldn't be during a major shift in your life. It would be after. Okay, let's see. What abundance is coming in for group 2? What abundance is coming in for group 2? I feel like you're... Oh, wow. That's exactly what I was about to say, and then we see the Queen of Cups. Wow, you have the Queen of Cups and you have the Knight of Water. And the Knight of Cups was your intro card. What I was about to say is I feel like this energy, you've become very humble, which kind of goes hand in hand with this grounded energy. And I also feel like you're not materialistic anymore. And maybe you once were, but it just feels like after this transformation, this new version of yourself doesn't care about material things. It's extremely humble. And this energy is just somebody who is just happy to be alive. It's just happy to be existing, happy to take life one day at a time, very grateful. There's a lot of gratitude that is coming through for group 2, and you're just like happy to just exist in this world. And I feel like you're not materialistic right now. You're very humble, extremely down to earth. And it just feels like from wherever you used to be in life to where you are now, you're just happy you made it. You're just happy you're here. And I feel like anything on top of that is just extra, is just a cherry on top. But you feel very content with everything that you have right now, and you're not necessarily seeking more. But if you do get more in the universe, if the universe does give you more, your attitude is like, well, that's great. Like, that's just the cherry on top, but I don't need it. I don't need all these extra things. I'm happy with what I have right now. It feels very minimal. It feels very very down to earth, minimal, very realistic, very what is the word that I'm thinking of? Like, yeah, I don't know. I think that's what I'm thinking of. But there was a word that I was about to use and I don't remember it. Okay. Yeah, and so it's interesting that we see the Queen of Cups because that's pretty much the Queen of Cups' energy. And I started speaking about this right when this card came out. So, yeah. And there's just a whole new love for yourself. I don't know why I keep hearing like I'm just glad I made it out or I made it here. And I think now you realize like you have so many opportunities, you know, there's so many doors that can open up for you if you want them to. But I also think you realize now, group 2, that your life is in your hands. Like nobody's just gonna come in and do what they want to do to you anymore. Nobody's just gonna control you anymore. Or like, yeah, it just feels like you have your life in your hands and you're so happy about it. Again, a very spiritual energy that is coming through here for group 2. And I think that for you guys, what I'm sensing so far is almost feels like a spiritual abundance that is coming in. We'll obviously get more cards, but it feels like you went through something very intense, this huge transformation. So it feels like spirit is now rewarding you with like spiritual enlightenment. You know, now it's like it feels like a lot of this abundance is not physical, but you're okay with that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the saying of like money doesn't buy happiness. And I think you're finally in a place in life where you are so fulfilled emotionally, mentally, spiritually, within life, within your immediate life, within your own soul, that like you realize like, yeah, like I don't need all these external things to be happy. And I think that's a type of abundance that is coming into your life. You know, like you're healthy. That is very important to you. Maybe your family, your kids, your pets, like your immediate environment, everyone's healthy, everyone's thriving. Like that is so much more of an abundance than somebody who maybe has a lot of money in their life right now, but they don't have good health or they don't have all these other things that really fill a person with emotional fulfillment. Does that make sense? I feel like that's your current energy. And it feels like a lot of this abundance is like a mental, emotional, spiritual abundance that is coming into your life. And because you have it within yourself now, you have that abundance within your soul, you're not seeking it externally. You know, now you don't necessarily have that void within yourself that you were once trying to fill through other things, maybe through people, substances, toxicities in whatever ways. But it's like, that's the abundance that you have now, or that you will have. I love this energy, group 2. I feel like you are so evolved, or you are evolving into this amazing human being. And it's an energy that not many people understand. So I feel like if this is really your energy, then like, that's amazing. Let's see, what abundance is coming in? Okay, this fell on my lap, but yeah, Wheel of Fortune. That makes a lot of sense. We have Scorpio out again. Actually, we have Scorpio out 3 times because this is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is all the fixed signs. So Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. So we kind of mentioned Leo there too. And then, yeah, so Scorpio out here many, many times. This is you. This is literally the energy I was thinking about in my head. Like somebody who is just jumping for joy, who is celebrating, who is happy, who is so fulfilled within their life because they made it out of the darkness. They made it to the light and the sunshine and the peace. And they're just like, I'm so happy to be alive. I'm so happy to be here. And whatever I have, it is enough for me. The Wheel of Fortune, it's a very fated energy. It's about destiny. And I think the universe is saying to you, you continue to heal and continue to go on this transformation, and you get to where you need to be. Follow the signs and synchronicities, and you do just what you can do on Earth, like here in the 3D, and we'll take care of the rest. I also think you have a lot of trust within you and the universe, and it's a lot of trust that you did not have before. Because I think you could have been very cynical at one point in time, or maybe just didn't trust people, didn't trust any type of higher power, you know. But I think you've really changed that energy. What abundance is coming in for group 2? Okay, I'll take both. we have the Tower, and we have the King of Swords. What's so interesting about this Tower, oh my god, I'm always find hair on myself. What's so interesting about this Tower is it's not falling apart. The people are falling apart, but the Tower itself is not falling apart. Maybe there's a little fire, but I feel like that's your fire. That's your passion. That's your intensity. And an abundance that's coming into your life is boundaries. Because you're kicking people out. You're kicking people out. You're kicking energies out. Whatever is not meant to be in your life, for all the things I just explained in your energy that I'm sensing, if anyone gets in the way of that, you are kicking them to the curb. That is how it's coming through. It's coming through as a very strict energy, and it feels like this is my territory. This is my property. This is my body. These are my boundaries, and you are not getting past it. To whoever it may be. And I think that is a huge mindset of yours now moving forward. And you realize protecting your energy is such an abundance. It is such a blessing to be able to be wise enough to protect your energy from negativity. And maybe at one point in time you didn't do that. You weren't aware of that energetically and spiritually. And now you are realizing that you can control who comes in and who doesn't. And I love that it came out with the King of Swords, because the King of Swords, let me clarify really quick. Oh. Let's clarify this King of Swords for what abundance is coming in. Five of Cups. Okay, so that's what I was thinking earlier too, because along with along with boundaries and protecting yourself, there's also this energy of protecting your mind, which is the first thing that came to my mind when I saw the King of Swords, because the King and Queen of Swords, they are very logical. They're not really emotional, but they also protect their energy really well, because they're not overly emotional, and they don't let emotions dictate their next moves, so I with this, and with kicking people out and boundaries, it really felt like finally taking care of your mental health. That is a form of abundance that is coming into your life, is taking care of your mind. And it's interesting because here we have the Five of Cups, and with two of these together, so the Five of Cups, it's an energy of feeling disappointed and feeling sad about something. But with the King of Swords, I'm trying to put this into words. It feels like you're not allowing unnecessary things to affect your mental health. I think that's the easiest way that I could say it. And whatever it is, whether it's sadness, whether it's whatever it may be, whether it's within you, whether it's like a false narrative, whether it's other people, it just feels like you are not allowing anybody to get into your tower, even to get into your mental health and ruin your mind about something or create mental conflict within yourself. I feel like you are becoming so strong within yourself mentally and emotionally that you're just not allowing anyone to get inside your head. And I feel like you're standing very firm with your new beliefs about that. Is there anything here about a romantic partner that could be coming in for group 2? I almost feel like maybe they don't want to answer my question because they want you to be surprised, or they don't want you to know. In some, Okay, interesting. We have the Page of Swords, we have the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Emperor, which is also holding on to a sword. So you got a lot of swords out here. I almost feel like it's interesting because when I was asking specifically, it's like the universe is like hinting that there is some kind of a romantic relationship coming into your life. But then when I'm asking about it, it took forever for anything to come out. And I got the sense of we don't want group two to know because we don't want them to mess anything up. And not that you would mess it up, but I think it's more of the energy of like if you knew something was going to happen at the exact time at the exact place, maybe you would overthink it. Maybe you know something could happen and like you don't show up to it, or maybe you miss the opportunity. And I feel like the universe, whenever it is that you do meet this person or a romantic relationship does come into your life, they want it to be completely authentic and natural, and they don't want you to know when it's happening or what is happening. They want you to have like a natural reaction to it. And I think that's really important. I don't know why, but I feel like that's really important that you show up to something naturally without knowing what's happening, so you somehow cannot mess it up. I think that's interesting because this person is literally hiding in a bush, and I was mentioning how they're covering their mouth with the rose. I even feel like even the universe is even keeping them kind of hidden right now because they want you to know that something is coming in, somebody is coming in, but they don't want you to know when, where, or how, because they want you to be your most authentic self when it happens. So I love that we have the Page of Swords here and the Ace of Swords, because this is showing me your new beginning. This is showing me your new breakthrough, the new clarity that you have received after this transformation. So that's what I was saying. I feel like this transformation is your current energy, or you're stepping into it, or you may be at the very end of it. But I feel like this is what would be happening after your transformation. So I feel like a lot of you might not be here yet. Maybe you're very close, to this new beginning and to all this energy that I mentioned. But it does feel like for this to be your current energy, that's kind of maybe where you're at right now. But yeah, it's like you're finding clarity, you're getting that breakthrough that you finally were working towards, and it's like all making sense. And this is you're just evolving as a brand new person here with the Page of Swords. I feel like you just have a whole new mindset, a whole new personality, which gets you to do new things and different things, and you're curious about things that you weren't curious about before. This could even be hobbies or skills or talents, or maybe even career or friends or just anything. It just feels like you're just so excited to go out into the world as this new you with this new energy of yours. And it's like you're taking life, what is it, like grabbing it by the horns? I don't know what that saying is, but it's like you're taking life into your hands, because you're finally who you are meant to be, doing what you're meant to be doing. And you get to start over, which is very nice, meaning you're starting a new chapter. And then I love that we have this Emperor here, because I feel like this is also your energy. And this is the universe showing you that your abundance is coming in through stability, through foundation for yourself, through self-worth and self-assurance, and for you to really know who you are. That's the Emperor. The Emperor works hard, they're determined, but they know exactly what they want. They know exactly what they stand for. They have a very solid foundation built for themselves that nobody can take away. And that's where you are ending up. And that's why I feel like for you, a lot of your abundance is mental, spiritual, emotional, which will eventually turn into physical abundance. But it feels like this is the abundance that's needed right now in order to transform the physical aspects of your life, if that makes sense, because it's all a domino effect. If we're not physically, or if we're not emotionally and spiritually healed and transformed, we're not going to be working on our external reality, which is also our body, or maybe if it's finances, career, it starts from the core of within you, and then it works through everything else around it. With this, I definitely see that with that stability, your status could be going up, your funds, your money, your monetary wealth could definitely be increasing as well. But yeah, very nice. Okay, group 2, that's pretty much everything I'm seeing. This was a very unique energy, which I love. And I love that it's such a spiritual energy, because as a spiritual person myself and somebody who gives spiritual advice, I love this energy because it's so real and it's so necessary in order to truly blossom into who you are meant to be. And I feel like a lot of people skip this spiritual lesson, this spiritual transformation, because they're so quick to want the physical abundance, the physical transformation, the physical things, that they skip the internal things, the most important things. You know what I mean? And then they don't ever get to the physical that they want because they skipped over the most important part. You know what I mean? It kind of just throws everything off, but I feel like you are really going through it and going through it from the inside out, and that's what I love. Okay, advice for you. This card came out. Oh my gosh, I love it. There's another sun. And remember I was saying you're finally standing in the sun? It says 36, embracing my beautiful soul. Being truly myself is the biggest gift I can offer myself and others. I embrace my beautiful soul and show it to the world. That's literally exactly what I just said over the last 40 minutes. Like, quite literally. That's why that is your biggest abundance. Is that's why it's coming from within. Nurturing my soul. You have nourishment and nurturing out here twice. 17. Growth on all levels is a priority, so I will take the time to nurture my soul and wisdom and positivity. That's literally what I just said. Growth on all levels is a priority. And I was just saying how a lot of people skip the internal, spiritual, emotional transformation, and they just want to jump to the physical transformations or the physical abundance, and they don't do the inner work. And it just throws everything off pace. And this literally is just literally reaffirming what I just said to you. Number 8, a new day, a new start. It's okay to fail. Every day is a new start, and I will treat myself graciously. Oh, I am blooming. I love it. Number 30, it says, I am full of authenticity because I bloom exactly the way I was always meant to bloom. Or I was always meant to. I got excited, added the extra bloom in there. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I feel like, okay, I feel like when you're in this energy, nobody can stop you. I always feel like it's these people that like go through the spiritual transformations that they need to. These are the people that are unstoppable because nobody can ever get in your way. Nobody can ever hold you back. Nobody can ever talk shit to you. You know what I mean? Like, you are truly going to be unstoppable, which is what's going to help you propel yourself into the ultimate version of the person you want to be. We have time to rekindle. Take the wheel in your hand. I haven't used this deck in months, maybe even a year now. So I was like, you know what? Let me use this deck today. Chill out. Don't swim against the current. Don't do more than you can. Cherish every moment. Let spirit carry you forward. Okay, group number 2, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. I love this energy. I am so happy for you. Like I said, you're about to be unstoppable. But yes, I offer, what am I trying to say? I have private readings available. If anyone is interested in booking a session with me, we could have a one-on-one session where we talk to each other, or we can do a pre-recorded reading. I have a bunch of options, you guys, so just email me and I will let you know all of your options. I also have a Patreon where viewers get to suggest monthly readings, and there is more personalized content over there, so that will also be linked in the description below. But take good care of yourself, you guys. Have a great rest of your day or night wherever you are, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose the moon card with the anime tarot and this zebra jasper, this is your group. Hello, group number 3. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support. And like I mentioned in the intro, this reading is all about what abundance is coming your way. Keep in mind that you can honestly interpret this reading however you would like to, and everyone's going to have different abundance that is coming into their life. So it's definitely not a one size fits all kind of a reading. So, please feel free to interpret things however you would like to. And abundance could be anything. It could be in any form, any shape. It could be physical, it could be spiritual, so just keep an open mind about it, but also you can interpret this however you would like. So I do want to say something about the moon here. This person, she's just standing here like a total badass. I mean, look at her, the outfit, the pose, the stare, even like the furrowed brows. It's this energy of somebody that is just like, don't mess with me, like, don't mess with me. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm living my life. There's a very independent energy that is coming through as well. And one thing I noticed, that even though this is the moon, it has the sun in the background as well. We see the moon and the sun. So that just feels like the best of both worlds. Somebody who is spiritual because of the moon, somebody who is intuitive, spiritual, and maybe even reserved and laid back, but also with the sun and that fiery energy, somebody that could be extroverted and outgoing and fun and adventurous all at the same time. It feels like you are a mixture of this best of both worlds energy. But yeah, it's just like giving confidence. You're just radiating. You could have changed up your style recently, or there is something about your style or your physical appearance that is giving you more confidence, or now you're able to finally, maybe dress how you want to dress, or really like present yourself in a very authentic way to who you really are. So I love that. I just wanted to mention that. The number 18 could be significant. When I first saw this, I thought of a very specific date, which was August 18th. I don't know if that's somebody's birthday. I don't know why I thought about that, because I saw the 18 when a lot of times on tarot decks, they don't have the actual numbers. They have Roman numerals. And sometimes I don't really care enough to like read the Roman numerals. But since this is the actual number, I saw 18, and then I immediately thought of 818. So August 18th could be significant, could have been this year. Maybe it is in the future. Maybe it's somebody's birthday. I don't know. Take that however. Okay, so this is group 3's current energy. So we're going to look at this first, and then we're going to look at what abundance is coming into your life after we look at the current energy. So if you feel like the current energy doesn't sound like you, then definitely go ahead and check out a different group. But let's see, what is group? No freaking way. 18. I knew there was something about the number 18. That's crazy, because I didn't do that on purpose, and I have no idea what these cards are until I flip them over with you. We have Aries up here, and all this chilies. We were just talking about fiery, passionate energy. With the number 18 with stimulation and chili. Wow. That's so interesting. And this quill is also making me think of back to the basics, because yeah, like a long time ago, people used to use quills to write. So that made me think of like back to basics. And that also made me think of the best of both worlds, which is you, because you're the laid back energy of this quill here. And then you're also this red hot chili pepper. And I feel like both of these energies are intertwined within you. That's crazy though. That number 18, that's wild. I'm like, that's wild. Okay, let's see what else is going on for group 3's current energy. The Wheel of Fortune with the number 10. We have all of our fixed signs. So we have Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Ooh, the cat and lavender with independence. You are this black cat. This is kind of giving the same vibe. I mean, come on. The pose, the stare, the don't mess with me, don't come near me, I'm a baddie and I know it. I mean, that's giving the same energy. I love it. We have 8 of Earth with education, focus, and details. Okay, so that is the Eight of Pentacles. That is Virgo energy here. And this cat is definitely making me think of Scorpio energy, this black cat vibe. I think for one, group 3, I think you're very physically attractive. Whether you are masculine or feminine, I don't think it really matters. Maybe the garage opening is a confirmation, but it feels like you're very, very physically attractive. And I was saying that earlier, wasn't I? Something about your physical appearance, maybe your style, maybe the way you carry yourself, maybe it's your energy, maybe it's everything about you physically that just makes you so conventionally attractive. I feel like no matter where you go, people look at you or people notice you because you're so hot. Like, that's just how it's coming through here. And I feel like you know it, but you're not like cocky, like you're not annoying about it. You're not like, I feel like you're a very humble, attractive person. And I think even if somebody compliments you, you maybe even blush and you're just like, oh, thank you. Like, I don't think you live your life day to day expecting people to just like praise you and all these things, but I think it does happen. But I think you could actually be very shy about it when people do compliment you, because you like blush, you're like, oh, like, thank you, but you don't have to like keep saying it or something like that. But even with the stimulation and this peppers, it's making me think of Scorpio energy, just like a very like fiery, maybe even sexual energy that is coming through here for this group. I love it. This is like the energy of somebody who's really already put together. So with the Eight of Pentacles here, again, this feels like hard work. There's a lot of dedication. You have some kind of a long-term goal and you are working towards it, and you probably chip away at it every day. Long-term stability, long-term foundation goals, long-term financial goals, long-term career, whatever it is, you are working towards this every day. And I think that is very, very good. And it's very important to you. And I also feel like you're not letting anyone get in the way. You just are so sure of who you are. Oh, the garage again. Guys, my room is right on top of my mom's garage. I know, right? I know, it's fine. They just open it and close it and it's fine. I'll stretch while I'm waiting. Okay, so it just feels like you are so sure of who you are that like it literally does not matter what anyone says to you or about you. It literally like doesn't even faze you. I feel like you're just so focused and determined about your goals and your visions. And I think that living authentically is very important to you. Like, you could never be fake, whether it's like to other people, whether it's being fake to yourself. You could never be fake. You could never be doing things that you don't actually want to be doing, because that's just not you. I feel like you can't even be fake even if you wanted to, because it just like, it takes so much energy to be fake, and I feel like you just don't have time for that, and you just don't have energy to be fake. So it's like living authentically is very important to you, and that's what you do on a regular basis. For some of you, you could be thinking about cutting your hair or like changing up your hairstyle, because this anime character has a lot of hair, very long hair, but this person kind of has like a very short haircut. So there could be something about you changing up your hair. There's just this aura about you, group 3. And even with the Wheel of Fortune here, talking about fate, destiny, talking about higher power, talking about our energetic field, it just feels like you have this aura about you that like, it doesn't even have to be physical. Like, your energy is attractive. Like, you have like that aura. You know what I mean? Like, people are just gravitated towards you. People just want to talk to you. They want to be friends with you. People are just so magnetically drawn to your energy, and it's something that you can't even explain yourself with the Wheel of Fortune here, because I feel like maybe sometimes you do wonder like why, and sometimes maybe you even like kind of attract like crazy people, and maybe from time to time you wonder like, why do I attract certain people, or why do I why does everyone notice me all the time, or like what is up with my energy where like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? I think you probably wonder that from time to time, but I think you know that there is a very strong energy within you. Like, there's something about you and the universe, and you guys are very much tied in hand to hand, and it feels like your energy center is alive. And I think it's just like the aura around you is so different. And I think that's another reason people like you, or people gravitate towards you, because you're so unique in your current energy, group 3. I think like they just haven't met somebody like you, or maybe the insights that you have, the spirituality that you have, the perspectives that you have, the advice, the teachings. It's just like everything about you. I feel like people don't meet somebody like you all the time. I also feel like with the cat, and even that, like, you know how we're talking about you can be more reserved and more spiritual and like kind of back to the basics of like minimalism. It feels like with the cat and independence, especially because I know how cats are, and because I have cats, and they will not just go up to anybody. You know, they don't even like need anybody. At the end of the day, a cat could survive anywhere, whether it's in a home being taken care of by people, whether it's out in the wild, it could literally survive anywhere. And I feel like that's you. Even though you have this magnetic aura and you have a huge vision for your life, and maybe you even are already doing really good right now. I just saw 1111. Even though it's like you are so much larger than life kind of an energy, you are still so down to earth and grounded and independent, and you don't really rely on other people. You don't really need other people, or you don't need a lot of extravagant things. I think you're very happy with where you are, with what you have. You could be very selective as well. But that's what I mean, the best of both worlds. Like, you have this huge energy about you, but you're also like the sweetest and so caring and so down to earth and so humble as well. It just feels like you're such a good mix. And I think that's another thing that throws people off, is because, you know, just like stereotypically, when we meet somebody who's really attractive, we expect them to be like super annoying and cocky and like act a certain way, but you're not. And I think that surprises people. I also feel like you could be the type of person where, like, when people meet you and they get to know you, they say to you, they're like, I thought you'd be different. Like, I thought you'd be like a certain type of way because of what you look like. Maybe some of you have like RBF, you know? So it's like people tell you that, and you probably get that comment a lot, just like, oh, I thought you'd be different, or like, oh, I didn't think we'd get along so well. And yeah, I feel like you can make friends easily like that and just kind of surprise people. But with the Wheel of Fortune and even this Eight of Pentacles, I feel like you're really destined to do great things in this lifetime, Group 3. I think you already know that. You know, I think you are already very familiar with your own energy and with your own spirituality and with higher power, and I think you just know that you're gonna do great things, and you're very sure of yourself at this point in your life. You could also smell really good. I know with lavender, it's making me think of that. And with Eight of Pentacles, yeah, I think I talked about all the cards now. Eight of Earth, long-term. Whoa, holy cow, that's crazy. Look at what I just noticed. There's a feather, and I was talking about back to basics, writing with a quill, and there's a white feather here. You know what's so interesting? Spirit could be leaving you clues in your life, leaving you signs and synchronicities and like little things like that. Like, I might not have even noticed that. And it feels like maybe for some of you, you don't know the big picture of where your life is taking you. Especially with the Eight of Earth, this is not the 10 of Pentacles. You know, this is not completion. You're on your way to completion, but you're still working and chipping away at something on a regular basis. So it's like you don't see the whole picture yet. And I think Spirit is doing that intentionally in your life right now. Like, they're just giving you little clues. Like, things are just hidden. You know, there's just Easter eggs everywhere in your life from Spirit, because they just want you to, at the very least, they want you to trust them and trust the clues and follow the clues and the signs, and that it is taking you to the bigger picture, but maybe you don't know what the bigger picture is just yet. Like, you know, Spirit is doing something big with your life, or they have a purpose for you, they have this big plan for you, but they haven't revealed the whole thing to you, and you're just following little clues and synchronicities, and you're kind of just taking it one day at a time. Because even with the Wheel of Fortune, this is destiny, this is fate, this is divine timing, divine intervention. So there could be just like a lot of things happening that you cannot control, and you're just kind of like following the clues. Okay. Okay, another message, maybe it's a little PG, what was I about to say? I can't speak, Group 3. I wanted to say 18 plus. For some reason, I was about to say PG-13. But with this whole like best of both worlds kind of a vibe, I feel like another way people could be kind of shocked or surprised by you is like, you know, like, how do I say this? Like, I guess I already used the word sexual, but kind of like that. Like, I feel like you kind of give off this like innocent vibe at times, but then I feel like you could be the total opposite. And I think people are in that department, and I think people could be a little bit surprised. I'm like, how do I say things? Because I know there's people that are young watching my videos, and I want to cater to everybody. But okay, I will leave it as that. I think if that resonates with you, then it does. Okay, so let's get into it, and let's see what abundance is coming in for group 3. I feel like you just already know. I feel like you are so spiritual and you are just so in tune with yourself and with the universe. Like, you just kind of know where your life is going. Okay, let's go ahead and see what abundance is coming in for group 3. Ooh, 4 of Wands. Okay, for some of you, you could be getting engaged. I know that's kind of like a huge jump, but the 4 of Wands can talk about engagement or marriage. But, you know, that doesn't have to be for everybody. For the 4 of Wands, it's about celebration, about happiness. Somebody could be celebrating you. You could be celebrating life. There could be some kind of somebody's throwing you a party. There's definitely some kind of a celebration coming in. So whether you are a part of the celebration for somebody else or whether this is a celebration for you, I think you are going to be a part of a celebration or celebrate it yourself. Let me clarify this 4 of Wands. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's clarify this 4 of Wands, please. There we go. 5 of Wands. Whoa, interesting. I still can't believe you got 18 after I was talking about 18 so much. Okay, so we have 4 and 5. 5 of Wands, clarifying the 4 of Wands. I do think, okay, if there's any kind of conflict in your life right now, because the 5 of Wands can talk about mental conflict, or it can talk about conflict with other people, not seeing eye to eye with somebody. I think that conflict is going to go away. Either you like compromise with this person, or like there is some balance that is being found, or like equal ground that's being found between you and somebody that you might have some conflict with, or this conflict is completely being removed from your life. I could also view this as like anything that's like kind of troubling in your life right now, whether it's like career, whether it's finances, whether it's your environment, like anything in your life that's causing you some mental conflict, it's going to go away. And you're going to be very happy again. And you're going to be very happy that it is gone and it's not bothering you anymore. This could even be like medical news for some of you, but I will say I don't give medical advice. Do not take that, and do not, you know, just take it if it resonates with a grain of salt. But for some of you, there could be like some ongoing medical issue that is finally being resolved, but it's like the results that you want. Because with the 4 of Wands, whatever this is, it's something that is making you happy and is making you excited. And it is something maybe that you have even been praying for or wishing for, like, this is the result that I want, no matter what the scenario is. So yeah, like maybe there was an ongoing medical thing and you're finally getting the results that you want. Maybe there is conflict with another person. That conflict is finally being resolved. Maybe this is conflict financially, or maybe within something else, right? And you are getting the desired outcome that you have been wanting. And that is a blessing or an abundance that is coming into your life. Let's see what abundance is coming in for group 3. These are just plot. Whoa, okay. For some of you, you're probably getting engaged or married, or you're finding your soulmate, you're finding your spouse, because that's crazy. The Hierophant and the Lovers coming out together. And I was literally talking about engagement. So the Four of Wands, again, it doesn't have to be engagement, but I also sometimes read it as like the next step above of what you are doing right now. So it could be commitment, you know, and there's happiness surrounding the union of two people. It could be engagement, it could be marriage. The Four of Wands even talks about a happy home life. So for some of you, you could be moving in with a partner, or Spirit is literally saying with the Hierophant and the Lovers, it's like you're really finding a partner that is long-term material. Like literally you could move in together with them at some point. Maybe this is your long-term person. But yeah, with the Hierophant, a higher level of commitment, a higher level of something, maybe some kind of a higher power, even with the Wheel of Fortune, is guiding you to meet this person. Maybe for some of you, you already met somebody with this Lover's energy here, and Spirit is maybe giving you a confirmation for some of you that like, yeah, like things are going to progress with this person, or like there is a greater destiny with somebody here, or like you are on the right path with somebody here. But if you don't have somebody, I totally think somebody is coming into your life, group 3. Like you're either getting committed to somebody, you are getting engaged, you could be moving in with them, you could be getting married to them, you could be, or you could be meeting the person that you are going to do all of this with if you haven't met them yet. Some of you, I think this person could already be in your life. And it's interesting that they are holding on to red string, or like this ribbon. It's making me think of like the invisible strings that connect us to somebody else. So for some of you, there's definitely divine intervention bringing somebody into your life. And that is the next abundance. Or the next, yeah, and a piece of abundance that is coming in is a romantic connection with somebody, or an emotional connection with somebody. Because we were already talking that like you're independent, you're stable, like you're doing all these things for yourself, and it almost feels like the one thing that is lacking is some kind of an emotional connection with the right person, of course, because I'm sure with somebody like you would be single by choice, you know. So it feels like you are meeting somebody who actually checks your boxes, and you would be like open to something more with them. And yeah, again, divine timing, people bringing you guys together, or somehow you guys finding your way together, the universe bringing you guys together. You could actually meet at a party. Again, the Four of Wands, I was saying you could be celebrated, or you could be celebrating somebody else. So maybe you guys have like acquaintances, maybe you have like friend groups that are similar, or like you're getting invited somewhere, this person is also getting invited somewhere. I'm also thinking of like a restaurant, or like a bar, or some kind of like a social setting where other people are there, but like you were invited there for a celebration, but like this person, maybe they're not a part of the celebration, but they just also happen to be at that restaurant on the other side of the room, and you guys notice each other. It's kind of coming through something like that too for some of you. Oh, well, that's sweet. Okay, then let's go ahead and see what abundance is coming in for group 3. Anything else? What abundance is coming in for group 3? Oh my gosh. Ace of Pentacles. Let's clarify. Ace of Pentacles, 5. You have 5 out here 3 times. You have 5 of Wands, 5 with the Hierophant, and then the 5 of Pentacles. You're finally coming out of some kind of slump financially. So say if like you're waiting on something to take off, you're waiting for funds to come in, you're waiting on something financially. Because the 5 of Pentacles talks about a lack, or lack of material things, so lack of finances. And with that in the reverse, it feels like that's finally over. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is literally like like something new is coming in. So it feels like if there were any like setbacks financially, or any blockages financially, or you were waiting on returns and it took a while, or like your project didn't take off yet and you're waiting on it for a while, like something financially that you were waiting on for a while is going to change. That energy is going to shift, and you are seeing returns. You're seeing movement in the finances. You're seeing something being returned to you that you are waiting on. Something did take longer than you thought it would financially, or something is happening quicker than you thought it would financially. But yeah, so there is an abundance of something is shifting in your finances. So that's really good. Oh, there's your intro card. All right, anything else? Any other abundance that you want to? Any other abundance that's coming in for group 3 that you want to share with them? Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll take all of them. Whoa, holy cow. 10 of Pentacles? Yeah, whatever like slump, that's the word that's really coming to mind. Whatever like stagnation that you have been in financially is about to change. And it's crazy. We were talking about the 10 of Pentacles when I was talking about the 8 of Pentacles, because I was like, the 10 of Pentacles is completion, but you are still working towards that bigger picture. You're working towards completion. So like you're not there yet. You're not there to where it is completed and you are getting what you want out of it. So that's really interesting that we were just talking about something. You're coming out of a financial stagnation, but it's about to be a downfall. I mean, a downpour, a windfall, whatever the saying is. It's about to like rain dollars. It like there's a lot coming out of this stagnation, because it feels like something either took longer than you thought, but then now it like something shifted in it and it's all coming in. For example, like, because this happened to me when I first opened PayPal, like a PayPal account, which I never before, like all of this, especially like my YouTube kind of taking off, I never had PayPal. I only had Venmo and Cash App because I'm in the States. That's what most people use. But then, I've been getting people from like around the world that want to book readings with me. And so then I was like, okay, like let me get a PayPal, because most people overseas have PayPal. Anyway, so when I first got PayPal, it said that I had to wait like a crazy amount of time before I could take out the money that was piling up in there. So I think I waited I think it was like 60 days or like 75 days. Like it was a really long amount. And I had to like wait, and it was just kind of like, okay, like people were, I was booking readings and like it was just kind of piling up in there, and I just kept waiting, and I was like, oh my God, like this is taking forever for me to be able to like take the funds out of there. And that's what this feels like you are waiting on something to finally allow this to come out. And the reason I had to wait so long is because I had just opened my account. So I think for like fraudulent reasons, it's like a policy, like any new person that is opening a PayPal account for the first time, you have to wait a set amount of days so they can like verify you and all these things before you can like withdraw your funds. And so now it doesn't do that anymore. Now I think I can kind of do it quicker than I did before, but that's what it feels like. Some kind of a waiting period is over. That's what I'm trying to say, a waiting period. It's, but that's the example that I can give you. Like a waiting period for some financial abundance to come into your life is finally over, and you're about to get like a lot of it out at once, or maybe even all of it out at once. Maybe it's like some kind of a promotion you were waiting on. Maybe there were holds on your account like mine, and then finally you were able to withdraw your funds in there. Yeah, interesting. And then for others of you, something is happening quicker than you thought it would. So say because I think at first it was slow. This is definitely like a slow energy, but then suddenly it gains traction, and now it's like you're getting so many orders in, which is giving you a lot of money in return. Okay, for another example, say that you started like an online business or something, like on Etsy or like something, like a shop somewhere, maybe even a physical shop. But at first it took a while for like people to notice your shop, to notice your online shop, and it kind of took a while, and like it was very slow to build in the very beginning. But then suddenly like something happened, that energy shifted, and maybe you got a lot of attention or a lot of people discovered your shop, and then suddenly you get all these orders in. And because that initial waiting period took a long time, you assumed that it will always be a long time. But then it happened quicker than you thought it would. Does that make sense? Even like a promotion, if you're at like a physical job, or this could even be you saving, like say you were trying to save for a while, but in your mind you're like, oh my God, it's going to take me forever to save as much as I want to. But then suddenly you get a bonus, or suddenly like an extra amount of money or funds come in, and then suddenly you're like, oh my God, I hit my goal so much quicker than I thought I would. That's like what it feels like. Either something was, you were held back somehow, but then it finally happened and you had a waiting period, or it's like something took longer than you thought, or something happened quicker than you thought. I think it could go either way, and those are my two explanations. Anyway, I love it though, because we see the Ten of Pentacles, and we already see that even if you don't know the whole picture of what you're working towards, for some of you it's like, it's going to take you to the abundance that you want, and it's going to be here. It's going to be here very soon, and I love that. Amazing. Okay, let's move on. Oh my goodness, we have the Empress and we have the Page of Wands. I love it. Look how pretty she is. I love all the female anime characters. They're so pretty. They're just so cute. Okay, so we have the Empress and we have the Page of Wands. So I think that, you're the Empress, right? Like, we already see we have the Ten of Pentacles here. We see that you are thriving. You are making, a good living for yourself, or, things are finally going in the right direction. And I think your foundation is growing. Your stability is growing. And yeah, the Empress, she's abundant. She is nurturing, she's loving, she's caring, she's humble. I really feel like no matter how your life changes materially, I don't think you'll ever really change as a person. I think you'll always be that sweet, down-to-earth person. I think you'll always be a very loving person. With the Empress here, this is also giving like mother vibes. So for some of you, maybe there's like an addition to your family. Again, I don't give health advice, but it could be. Or maybe you're adopting a pet, because we see a little kitty here. Or maybe it's like, we do see this partnership. And even with the Hierophant, this could signify a higher level commitment. Maybe that is involving a growing family for some of you. But yeah, I think overall, you're just turning into the Empress, and it's very nice. And it's like, you did it. You made it. You got yourself here. And then I have the Page of Wands. It feels like no matter how many heights, like new heights you hit in life, whether it's financially, whether you're hitting all your goals and all these things, right? Like no matter how many new heights you hit in life, you'll always find other creative outlets, or you'll always find other things to do, other things to pour your energy into, because the Page of Wands then is starting off as on square one. Like this is kind of starting over on something. So even if you hit the heights as the Ten of Pentacles and as the Empress, like you can't get above that. It feels like you'll always find new opportunities and new ways to like explore life and explore yourself and explore opportunities, and you'll always have that passion for new things and new projects, and yeah, like you'll always have that spark, you'll always have that passion in life. Okay, group 3, a lot is coming in for you. Something's going to be resolved. Potentially something is happening in a relationship. Literally, like something huge is about to happen with your finances. You're becoming the Empress. So, you're 10 out of 10. I can't think of anything else, really. You're pretty much hitting all the boxes. And Spirit is saying you deserve it. You worked for this. Like, you didn't just show up into this life. into this lifestyle or into this energetic space. Like, you didn't just snap your fingers and you showed up. You worked for it. You know, you put in the hard work and the time and the effort, the blood, sweat, and the tears. Like, you do it all. And that's why you're here. And I'm hearing Spirit say it's okay to celebrate yourself. It's okay to acknowledge that you have accomplished a lot. Ooh, traveling. Number 25. Traveling opens my mind and raises my self-development to new levels. So maybe some of you are encouraged to go on a trip. Number 31. Visualizing my wildest dreams. I know the power of my thoughts, and visualizing them will lead me to live the life of my wildest dreams. This also looks like vacation. You know, it's... Oh, that fell on the ground. What I was about to say is, because when you work so hard and you're like, all of this is working out for you, Spirit is encouraging you to like take some time off, you know, like go on a trip, go on a vacation. We have 4 with transformation. Part of my transformation might be uncomfortable, but I have the power to go through this. 15. Love awakens my soul. I will begin to truly love myself with the love that awakens my soul. My heart is open to growing and receiving love. Okay, I have another deck here for some advice. If you're an OG, you remember this deck from a long time ago. I haven't used this deck in a very long time. Feeling gloomy. Be present for your present moments. Allow yourself to feel all the feelings. Even if you have down days, that's okay. Golden path to your reality. Look for benefits in the impossible. This is what I'm saying. You're literally about to embark on the golden path to your reality. I feel like you're about to do something pretty big. Okay, I'll take both of them. It says, celebrate your uniqueness. You're as exceptional as anyone. Bask in silence. Away with the noise of thoughts. Okay, I think maybe if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, ever feeling gloomy, it's okay to take a step away from things and go through the feelings of what you are feeling. Okay, group number 3, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading, you guys. If you're interested in a private reading, I have one-on-one sessions, but I also have recorded readings as well. So there's options. If you email me, I can let you know all of the options that I have, and we can book a reading together. I would love to help you personally. And I also have a Patreon where viewers get to suggest the monthly readings. So if you're interested in exclusive content, which is a bit more personalized, you can go ahead and check out my Patreon. The link is in the description below. But thank you guys so much for everything. Please subscribe, like, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. If you chose this World card with the rose quartz and this pink Rider-Waite tarot, this is your group. Hello, group number 4. I am going to do my best to kind of put a little box or whatever over our little lady here, because I just don't want my video to get flagged. I feel like sometimes when the world card is out, sometimes my videos get flagged. Okay, but hello, group number 4. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support. So our reading today is all about what abundance is coming into your life. So now abundance can be so many different things, and especially I truly believe that abundance could be material or physical or financial gains. You know, abundance could be mental abundance. It could be emotional abundance. It could be through stability, it could be through so many things, you know what I mean? And this is a general reading, so there's going to be different people with different types of abundances coming into their life. So as you are watching this, you know, feel free to interpret the cards as you want or as it makes more sense for you. But also keep an open mind that abundance, you know, it could really be anything, and it could even be a little thing that we didn't even realize, you know, but it makes such a huge difference when we do realize it. So yeah, I just want to see, you know, what is the universe giving you? What are they rewarding you with? What, like, just, you know, what do they want to give you? So pretty much that's what we're talking about today. But yes, as usual though, if it doesn't resonate, definitely check out a different group, and there could be multiple groups that have a message for you. So I do want to say though, with the World card being your intro card, it does feel like you could be ending a cycle and you are finally like completing something. So, excuse me, you are finally, where are these verbs coming from? Okay, it's like you're finally completing something, because we have completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, and arriving. Oh, that's interesting. This word arriving is so interesting. But yeah, you could be completing some kind of a cycle, you know, something could be ending and something else is beginning. So we'll have to see what's going on with that. But yeah, if you feel like you're kind of ending an era, ending a cycle, ending a chapter in your life, and something else is about to start, or you're starting something new, you know, this could definitely be your group. But that also doesn't have to resonate though. That's just kind of, anytime I see an intro card message, I try to like say what I'm feeling, but it does not have to resonate. So we're going to start off with Group 4's current energy. And if you feel like this current energy check doesn't sound like you, then definitely choose a different group. We're going to start off with the current energy, and then we're going to go into the abundance, and to see also how is your energy shifting from what your current energy is. So let's see, what is Group 4? Oh my god, I'm done. I'm done. Oh, I need to stretch. Okay, I'm done, because that's crazy. That's like total mic drop moment right there. Literally transition. We also have the number 11, but it literally says transition. And we were just talking about completion. Like, you are literally, and I was just saying, we'll see how your energy shifts, and it's literally the word transition. I literally said so many variations of this word just in your intro. That's crazy. So I definitely think, and also this matches this, like, the color scheme, but I definitely think there is a transition coming in Group 4. I think something is ending, something is beginning, or something is moving on, especially if you were in kind of a stagnant energy for a while. Something is changing. I love the number 11. It is my lucky number, or like any variations of ones. So I love to see 11 come up for a group. Ooh, the Tower. So this is 5, 6, 16. That's interesting. There's definitely a sudden change coming into your life. Let me keep going. Curiosity, the Raccoon, and Sycamore. This is 33 at the top. 6 of Earth with Charity, Generosity, and Windfall. Okay, group number 4, very specific energy, but I do feel like there is a sudden shift or a sudden change, sudden transition. You know, something is changing in your life. And I think your life has been stagnant for a while, and then out of nowhere, it's like this change, or maybe many changes coming in back to back to back after a period of stagnation. But I think you're excited about it. I love that this says curious, because it feels like you're like curious about it, you're excited about it, you're not afraid of it. So I know the Tower does look scary in this deck in traditional tarot, but I don't think this is a scary energy. I think this is something you have been waiting for. You have been working towards this shift, and this shift is happening very soon, if not already, because this is your current energy. So I really think like something that you have waiting on to change is changing, and maybe even other things are changing that you weren't expecting. I think you're very excited about this change. I don't think you're gonna run away from it or walk away from it. I think you're going to go into this change, but you are a little cautious, especially if it's different, especially if you've kind of just been living the same routine, living the same life for a while. even though you were wanting change and you were trying to create change, you still were kind of in the same routine. And then out of nowhere, something does change and it does disrupt that routine. I think that you're just kind of cautious and you're kind of just moving a little slowly into it, but I don't think you're afraid of it because you've been waiting for it. And I love the Six of Earth. This is one of my favorite cards because this is the energy of like spirit is helping you along the way. And it even says generosity, windfall, and charity. So it feels like spirit is somehow coming into your life and giving you a material change. And I think for some of you, this has already happened or it is about to happen. And I think this actually might be, I'm pretty sure not every group got a material abundance that's coming in, but I do think this group, there is something that is materially changing. So for example, your career could be changing, how much money you make could be changing, a promotion could be coming in, collaborations could be coming in, you know. So for whatever it is that has something to do with like material wealth, I really do think that is changing for you. Now for some of you, there could even be some kind of an inheritance that is coming in, because even that makes it feel like it's sudden and you weren't expecting it, or you knew like an inheritance was coming in but you didn't expect this much of it. It feels like you kind of knew something was going to change, but it's so much more than you originally thought it would be, and that's what's a little overwhelming. But you're still not scared. I think it's just a little, oh, that's more than I thought. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like say for example, I use like social media as an example a lot, but like say if you're posting videos online somewhere, right? Some platform, you're posting videos, or even like an online business, you know, say you're kind of moving steadily, like you're getting, you know, 10 orders here, 20 orders here, but say it's never been more than like 20 orders. Or if it's views, say you were getting 100 views here, 1,000, but say it's never been over like 1,000. But out of nowhere, you post something and it does really, really well, and suddenly you got like 100,000 views, or suddenly you get like 100 orders. You know what I mean? It's something where you were hoping that it would do better than the previous one, or how it has been, but it's like it does like tenfold of that. And I think it's because the universe actually is sprinkling some pixie dust on what you're doing, and that's why they're kind of giving you a nudge. They're giving you this push, and they're like, okay, like this is gonna get the ball rolling. And I think you just weren't expecting how big this generosity is that is coming in from the universe. Yeah, but I think you're excited. It feels like you're growing up. I don't know why it's coming through like that. Like it feels like when this first hits you, you're still young, you're still a little naive, but I think it's going to cause you to like grow up. Not in like a scary way, not in like it's gonna force you to grow up, but it's like it's gonna cause you to like evolve quicker than you thought you would in some way. So say if you started posting videos online, or you started this online business as kind of like a newbie, kind of like an amateur, you didn't really know how to like navigate the online shop, you didn't know how to like navigate the algorithm and like all these things, right? Like you're starting off as like a baby who doesn't really know what they're doing, but then this kind of forces you to like learn. Okay, you're like, oh, things are moving fast, like I have to keep up with it. So it's like you're evolving with this. But I love it because 110%, I feel like for this group, your finances are changing. And even if it doesn't change immediately, it's like it's on the path to changing. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's not like obviously, even if you're not getting a big chunk of money at once, I do think that like whatever this sudden change is that's coming in, it is going to have rapid growth, which will give you more money in the future. Like your income is growing, or your financial stability is growing because of this, but it might not grow right away. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense, but I love it. I love it. I feel like this is the shift that you've been waiting for, especially if you've just been stagnant for a while. And using that same example of like an online shop, say like you had your shop up for 6 months, and in that 6 months it just kind of stayed stagnant. You were only getting 10, 15, like very like it kind of just stayed stagnant, and you were just like waiting, but you didn't give up. You know, you still kept up with the shop, you still put in the work. Same thing with the videos, you were posting, you stayed consistent with it, and then out of nowhere something goes viral. So I think that is like the energy that is shifting, and that's the stagnation that you're coming out of. And even with this being a major arcana, it really feels like spirit is helping you somehow. I feel like, yes, like you are putting in the hard work, you know, yes, like you are doing your part. But I think that if spirit did not sprinkle their pixie dust, then it could have even taken longer. And I feel like they wanted to kind of give you that boost. They wanted to give you something to go off of. So I love it. I think this is an excellent energy that is coming in. And don't be afraid of the change, because you wanted this change. Just like remember that, like whenever you feel overwhelmed, just remind yourself, like, I wanted this success. I wanted the growth. I wanted to go viral. I wanted my business to get 100+ orders in a few days. You know what I mean? So instead of being afraid of it, tackle it head on, because remind yourself, this is the success and the growth that you wanted, or this is the new chapter that you wanted to start after that stagnation. Okay, nice. I love it. Group 4. I feel like this is such a fun energy. So let's get into what's going on for this abundance here. And yes, as usual, if that doesn't sound like you, or if you're not really going through this stagnation and waiting for this, you know, opportunity or this sudden change, then definitely check out a different group. But let's go ahead. This could even be like a promotion at a job. You know, say you were kind of stagnant in your current position and you were like waiting on a promotion, waiting on a raise, and then it finally comes in. Maybe you weren't even expecting how much, like you were expecting less than what they actually offer you. This could even be about a new job. You know, this could really be about so many things. But if I was to just boil it down, it just feels like your energy was stagnant for a while. You were really working towards something, waiting for it to grow, and then you finally get that opportunity, but it's more than you originally thought it would be. And you have to learn how to navigate it. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I just saw the Ace of Pentacles. Guys, I'm so excited, because I feel like for group 4, this is, I think, the first group that's really talking about like physical abundance. Okay, because I saw the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, I love this. We have the Hermit, and then we have the Three of Cups. So for the immediate message I got is that this, whatever this sudden shift is, it is pulling you out of your comfort zone, because this will require you to somehow be out of your comfort zone. And I just heard, for some of you, you can remain anonymous if you want to. But I think overall, like, you're just like meeting more people, even if this is online, you know, you can be under like a different name or something, but it's like you are meeting people, and whatever this is, it's bringing you out of a comfort zone. It just, I was thinking of somebody who was kind of living in this bubble, like this comfort zone, kind of just doing the same routine things every day, and then this shift happens in your life, and now it really pulls you out to like a new crowd, or new people, new experiences. So that's really nice. Let's see, what abundance is coming in for group 4? We have the Knight of Wands. Let me clarify. I do think your confidence is boosting because of whatever. Oh my god, as I was saying that, we have the Queen of Wands, and then we literally have the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, definitely your finances are changing. And I think Spirit wants to remind you, though, that it might not happen immediately, because the Ten of Pentacles and Pentacles in general, it's slow. You know, it's something that's slow to grow, but Spirit is saying this sudden change is putting you on the right track for financial abundance and financial freedom. It just might not happen right away, but you will get there if you stick to what you are doing, and if you use the opportunities that are coming your way. So again, there's a million different scenarios, but I think at the end, Like at the end of the tunnel of whatever this thing is you're doing, there is a lot of material wealth, and it is waiting for you, and it's going to be there for you. But I love that as I was talking about confidence, we got the Queen of Wands, because she is the epitome of confidence. She is all about making the right moves. She loves herself. She's sure about herself. And I think this is giving you that boost you needed. It's bringing you out of your comfort zone. It's helping you meet new people. I think you're going to realize that you have admirers. You know, people like you. People want to get advice from you, or people want to be a part of your group, or people want to, like, you know, order things from you. Whatever it is, it's like people are recognizing you, and that is giving you such a huge confidence boost. And I think you're just going to be viewing life in a much more lighthearted energy and in a much more like passionate energy. I also think there is an abundance of creativity that is coming into your life. So whatever this is that is opening up for you, it allows you to be very creative. And I think it also allows you to be very independent. This could even open up like a work from home, work remotely, working on your own time, because the Queen of Wands with independence here, it really feels like you can like create your own schedule with what is happening here. But yeah, I do think you are really leveling up when it comes to your attitude towards life, towards yourself, your confidence. I think your self-worth is also skyrocketing because of this. And I think you're just going to be so proud of yourself because you didn't give up. Whatever this is, Spirit is reminding you that you did this. You started this project, or you started this job. You maybe started at the very bottom and worked your way up. And it's like, you did this. Whether it's a promotion, a raise, collaborations, exposure, a status, you know, whatever it is, Spirit is saying that you stuck through with it, even in stagnation. You know, you didn't give up. And I think once this change happens, you're going to be so happy you did not give up. But I definitely see financial abundance coming in for group number 4. So let's see, what abundance is coming in for group 4? We have the High Priestess. We have the 7 of Cups. Wow, I'm literally viewing this in such a positive way. I'm viewing this as like so many opportunities are opening up for you because of this one thing that took off, or that created this change. Again, for example, say if you're like online, or this is something about a business thing that you're doing, and then suddenly when people are noticing you and people like you and they like your product, people want to collaborate with you, you know. So now you go from maybe no collaborations to suddenly like 7 different opportunities of collaborations come in. So that's like 7 streams of income. That's like 7 different things that you could possibly be a part of if you wanted to. So it really feels like there's this huge break in whatever it is you're doing. You're finally getting that shift that you wanted. And then it is just like branching out to so many different things. And I think it's going to happen very quickly because I'm seeing the 8 of Wands in my head. So it's like rapid speed, rapid movement. That's where that overwhelming energy comes in, because you're just like, oh my God, like this person reached out to me, that happened, I got 10 orders, or not 10, you know what I mean, 100 orders coming in, you know what I mean? So it's like there's just this overwhelming energy of like there's just so much coming in, and I'm just seeing this as like so many opportunities are opening up for you. But you have complete independence and complete freedom, because I think like you don't have to take what you don't want to take. That's where that Queen of Wands comes into, because she makes her own rules, you know, she runs her own show. And whatever it is you're doing, there's a lot of freedom within you. I just keep going back to like a business, something to do with online, something to do with just a remote setting, and you can just do whatever it is that you want to do. And with High Priestess here, this is a very intuitive energy. So I feel like it really feels like there's like a larger purpose in what you are doing, and that's why spirit is helping you. So for example, say you're doing something that's actually like helping people or like helping the collective. Maybe your products are helping people somehow, you know what I mean? Like I think there's something that you are doing that spirit really likes because they feel like it's actually helpful, and they are helping you kind of get to where you need to be with it. And with the high priestess, I'm even thinking about like past lives. Like this is something that you've done in a previous lifetime. Now, for some of you, if you haven't even started this journey, I think you need to, because especially with that past life message, I feel like that is spirit trying to get your attention. They're like, this is what you're actually meant to be doing. So say if you're living a completely different life, that's that sudden change that's coming in, or that recently came in, because spirit is like, well, you're kind of straying away from your purpose. Like, yeah, maybe you're working this 9 to 5, but you're actually meant to be doing this. And this was like also in your past lives, and we want you to do it again in this lifetime. So this could be in so many scenarios. You know, again, it's on a spectrum. So for some of you, maybe you've already been putting time and effort into this thing that's going to blow up, or others of you are kind of living your 9 to 5, you know, your regular lifestyle, and then spirit kind of throws in this sudden change, and they're like, hold on, group 4, like you're kind of straying away from what you need to be doing, you know, and they kind of like redirect you. So this could actually be like total redirection that's also coming into your life, which is ultimately taking you to your purpose and to like this abundance that's waiting for you. But yeah, there's definitely like your intuition is trying to speak to you right now. Your intuition is trying to guide you. And if you have not started this journey, if you have not had this shift yet, try to listen to what your intuition is calling you to, because I think spirit really wants you to do it, because it's about to go from like 0 to 100. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is perfect. Oh, look, Wheel of Fortune. I'll take that too. That's kind of perfect to end it on this note, because the Four of Wands talks about celebration, happiness, joy. This is a happy home life. This is living life on your terms. You know, it's like the happiest energy when it comes to your lifestyle, your everyday lifestyle. And spirit is saying you are creating the life of your dreams because you did this, or because you started this, because you're listening to your intuition. And then I love the Wheel of Fortune because this talks about destiny, and we were just talking about your life purpose rolling in from many previous lifetimes. And spirit is saying whatever this intuition is calling you to, whatever you are working towards, like this is unique. It's something only you can do, especially the way that you do it, you know, because there's nobody else like you, and your energy is unique, and your product or your outcome of this is very unique. So you need to keep doing it, and it is a part of your destiny. And that's why spirit is trying to help you, but they're saying you have to get started. You know, spirit can't help your business blow up if you don't even have that business in the first place. You know, they can't help you go viral if you're not putting yourself out there. So, or even like a promotion, you know, they can't help you get that promotion to meet the CEO and do all these crazy things if you haven't even like started that journey yet. So it feels like you have to get started on something on your own, and it might not be all glitz and glamour at first. It might be tough, it might be boring, it might not be all these things, you know, it might not be that exciting at first, but it's like they want you to get started, get the ball rolling, and they will sprinkle their pixie dust to help you snowball into where you are meant to be. But I love it. We have the Four of Wands, which is talking about ultimate happiness. We have the Ten of Pentacles talking about wealth, financial security, generational wealth, financial independence, literally leaving behind so much money that even your kids have money, even your kids and kids, your grandkids. You know what I mean? It's like leaving behind a legacy. And it's literally part of your destiny. So it's like all of this is tied into such a big package. So you need to get started. Or if you already have, but your life it's kind of stagnant, it hasn't been doing what it needs to do, just keep at it. Don't give up, because you just never know what video is going to go viral. You never know when your shop is going to get noticed, when you're going to get noticed, when that right promotion is coming along. You just don't know. So you have to be available. So that way, when that thing is available, you can find it. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? But I love it. I feel like for all the groups, if anyone is like talking about destiny, and if anyone is talking about complete financial abundance, it's group 4. So let's get some advice here. We have 22 with softening my heart. I'm no longer willing to let bad experiences take over my heart. It's time to let go of negativity. That makes a lot of sense, because for some of you, especially if something has been stagnant and you have not been getting that raise, you have not been getting the views or the orders, or like your life has just been stuck for a while, Spirit is saying, don't be negative about it. Like, don't let it get to you, because something is still happening behind the scenes, you know? So just because it's taken longer than you wanted to, that's okay. But don't give up. I think ultimately they don't want you to feel disheartened about it. They don't want you to feel like it's never going to work, because they just don't want you to give up, because you never know when that big break is going to come. My thoughts are powerful. As I'm aware of the power of my thoughts, I'm able to create my dream life. A new day, a new start. It's okay to fail. Every day is a new start, and I will treat myself graciously. Advice for group 4. Oops, that like flipped out. 21, appreciating myself. I completely know my own worth and honor and love my wonderful soul. All right, I have another deck here for some advice. Healing power of love. Feel the alchemy of love within you. Roses have thorns. Pain can be an awakening call. Whoa. Let faith lift you up. Accept the darkness to find the light. Okay, group number 4. Thank you guys so much for letting me give you this reading. I'm so excited to see where your life is going to take you, because I feel like you have such a big purpose, such a big destiny to be a part of, and it's happening. Get ready for it, because sooner than later, it is happening for you, and it's going to happen at the perfect time. You know what I mean? So thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so happy I got to read your energy. If you want a private session with me, you can go ahead and email me to book a private reading. We can have a one-on-one session where we're talking to each other. It's over Zoom, or we could have like a recorded reading where I kind of send you a recorded video, kind of like what you're seeing here. But if you want guidance and if you want clarity on your own situation, then definitely email me and we can figure something out. I also have a Patreon if you're interested in exclusive content. The viewers on Patreon get to suggest the monthly readings, so there is just a lot going on over there, and personalized content as well. So thank you guys so much for being here. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.